Dun, 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 dun. Na, 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 na. Ba-na-na, na, 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 na. I almost forgot to do that. Gotta do an intro. I'm doing every single one. We are now talking about Ring. Yes. Yes, I'm doing Star Wars again. No, it's gonna be my only Star Wars for the day. Well, I can watch the original trilogy whenever I want. I love those movies. I want to get this another way. Yes. Maybe some found footage next, I don't know. Who knows? Alright. Bye. Yeah, getting Rogue One out of the way. I cheated again. I used the Deck of Shadow review. I watched it. I'm sorry. Other than in the theater, I've never been able to sit down and watch this entire movie end to end. I'm sorry. But I know the gist of what's going on. It's the story everyone's always wanted to know, kind of, sort of, is how they got the Death Star plans. You know, something that you may assume could have been in the prequels, but they said the prequels way in the past. Like how they got the Death Star plans to begin with. And this tells you that. You got Jyn Erso, her dad designed the Death Star, and he intentionally put the flaw in there. You know, little hole. They can be shot and destroys the whole thing. He put that in there. Yeah, Saul Guerrero, played by Forrest Whitaker. I almost said Denzel Washington, and I almost said Denzel Whitaker, but that's not the right one. Forrest Whitaker, he has a small role. He's not in most of it, but he does die. Spoiler alert, they all die. Because when you sit there and you think, we're introducing all these characters, but they're not in any of the future movies, so what can we do? Fuck it, let's kill them all. Sounds simple enough, right? But yeah, every single new character introduced in this film dies. You have Saul Guerrero, dead. You have the cool new droid they introduced, dead. You have the blind guy played by Donnie Yen and the big burly long-haired dude, dead. You even have our main character and her sort of love interest, Cassian, dead. And the main bad guy in this, played by Ben Mendelsohn, dead. Kill everyone. I walked into this movie at the theater, sat and watched it. And up till that point, I'm like, this is a decent film. This is a pretty decent film. And then we get to the end. I'm like, you know, after when the Death Star comes to cruising in, and they send the things, okay, now get in the ship and get out of there. And they're just standing there. I'm like, get in the ship and get out of there. And then they get close. I'm like, get in the ship, get the hell out of there. And then once they embrace each other, I'm like, they're not actually gonna. So everyone has to die. I understand that they're not in any future sequels. Yet, all you would have to do is hire an older actress to play an older Jyn Erso in a future Star Wars film. That's all you'd have to do. Likewise with Cassian. Or they can still live. They can still live through the film, and if you want to say, oh, they might die, they can say their next destination is Dantooine, which we know gets destroyed in A New Hope. So we know they're going to die, but at least they survived the film, but you kill everybody. So it's like, the only thing important you need to know about this film is that the Death Star plans were sent to Princess Leia, which we already knew from A New Hope. We introduced some new characters, and you get to like some of these new characters, like Donnie Yen and the robot KSR whatever, voiced by Alan Tudyk. You get to like some of those. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. Great. Doesn't matter when you kill them off. The more and more I've thought about this movie is worse than Solo. Because at least, I know at the end of Solo, they kill off Woody Harrelson's character because he's not in any future sequels. But if they were planning on making a trilogy anyway, they could have kept the character. But who knows? This is what really irks me. Why does it have to be new characters? Why did it have to be brand new characters to introduce to do all this stuff? Because why couldn't it be, you could have Wedge Antilles, who I know is older now. But if you can have zombie Peter Cushing in the frickin' movie, and a zombie Princess Leia at the end, look, I'm sorry. Peter Cushing, the zombie Peter Cushing looks more like Peter Cushing than Princess Leia at the end does. Okay? And this is given that in the Marvel movies, Disney can do some pretty good CG effects. In the same year this came out, what, 2016? Same year, Captain America Civil War came out. Released by Disney. And it featured a scene in which we had a CG alteration to Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr., and it looked almost flawless. But you get in here, the Peter Cushing lookalike is a zombie, and Princess Leia looks like one of those Cupid dolls. Or whatever. I don't know what puppet there's. I don't know. But you could do a lot better than whatever the effects they were. Zombie Peter Cushing and Cupid doll. Princess Leia. I'm bashing this movie. Guys, this movie really doesn't need to exist if you think about it. If you really think about it, alright? This movie existed to tell us a story of how the Death Star plans got to the Resistance, right? Or the Rebels, right? Okay. That's great. But that's all they focused on. They gave us some pretty interesting characters. In the end, they didn't care. Because it was all about getting those Death Star plans to the rebels. The Rebel Alliance, whatever. And that's all they cared about. That's all the people who made this movie cared about. We just gotta show them getting them to the Rebel Alliance. So one of the last things in the movie, they get it up there. Okay, what do we do now? Kill everyone. And then, boom, everybody starts to die. Donnie Yen, my balls, whatever his name is. And then the two main characters. Actually, it starts with the droid, but actually it starts with Saul, and you got Bodhi. I understand none of these characters were in future installments, but you could have worked them into future installments. Because if you thought about it, you thought ahead, like you were trying to do with Solo. Maybe that's why they did Solo the way they did. Oh, we thought of Rogue One as this one and done. So automatically, any character in the movie has to be done by the end of the movie. So they killed everyone off. People got pissed. So now we're doing this. But it's replacing Han Solo. And I thought about this, alright? In 2018, you had 2 years to figure out a way to make CGI look a little bit better, right? Tap into that Marvel money, get some better CGI. And you could have, well, people probably gotten pissed, you could have touched up Aiden Einreich's face to look a little bit more like Harrison Ford. And it might have been a little bit better of a movie if we actually saw Han Solo. I'm just saying. And he probably could have made him look a little bit better than Cupid Doll and Zombie Peter Cushing. I'm just saying. I liked this. I liked the movie when it first came out. More and more I think about this movie, the more and more I never want to watch it again. I did it for this review, and not technically I didn't even watch the movie. I watched the Decker Shadow review of the movie because I just couldn't put it in. Every time I go to put it in or try to get it on my Vudu, I'm just like, you know what? Nah. I can't do it. But guys, I gotta give this a rating. I'm gonna give it a 4. To me, it's worse than Solo. Alright? It's getting a 4. It's worse than the worst of the worst. What did I give? It's not as bad. I'll give it a 4. I think that's about equal with episode 2. It's like, I went off at episode 2. This one made me go off too. But it's getting a 4. So what are your thoughts on Rogue One, the Star Wars story? Like, share, and subscribe. And as always, may the Force be with you.